Hey guys, this is Victoria with a new review for a new show called Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 1, Lone Stars No More. Now, this was 3 hours. Okay, it is currently 11:08 p.m., so I just finished watching this. So glad it's going to be at least 2 hours after this, but I still don't understand why not these shows, but Married at First Sight is 3 hours or is in like the first premiere episode. You really don't need to do 3 hours. You could have made this to two different episodes. But nonetheless, since it's 3 hours, I took a lot of notes. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna try to do this in 30 minutes. We're gonna see. I don't know. But anyways, season 13 is taking place in Houston, Texas. We have five couples. They are Bao and Johnny, Brett and Ryan, Mirla and Gil, Rachel and Jose, and Michaela and Zach. All right. So I watched the episode before where they were introducing each person and the couple and how they were, figuring out who to match with who. Um, I didn't review that because it was pointless to me. I felt like because they're gonna do it again, obviously in the first episode. So I guess this is where all the people, the couples and whatnots are telling their family, friends, and stuff that they're getting married in 2 weeks. So we start off with Jill. He tells his boys that he's getting married in 2 weeks. Um, it seemed like they took it okay, but pretty much when he's going through his whole background, talking about himself and whatnot, why he wanted to be on Married at First Sight. He says he's Colombian, he's a firefighter. Um, he said he's looking for that R&B love that's passionate and whatnot. So, okay, whatever. But I just put that as a note because I thought that was interesting. He said it specifically that R&B love. He has a hard time trusting strangers because his father passed away when he was at the age of 14 by strangers due to like a home invasion type of thing. But he's ready now. Um, like I said, I know how producers like to make it seem different than what it is, but that was just very interesting to me that because of the way strangers, unfortunately murdered his father, that's why he has a hard time trusting strangers. I can understand that, but at the same time, it's just like not everybody's going to come and murder you. So, I mean, that just seems like a whole different type of trauma that he should probably, hopefully, he's trying to resolve. I don't know if he has a therapist or whatnot, but I could, at one point, I could kind of see how that he could take that as a, traumatic experience, why he can't trust, people, strangers, but at the same time, so is that how you feel with, how did you make friends? Because they were strangers at one point, but, nonetheless, his friends took it okay, whatever. We move on to Mirla. So she tells her girls that, she's getting married in 2 weeks. And they seem like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But it was kind of just like, they know how she is. She's a bougie ass bitch. That's to keep it simple, plain, straight to the point. She's a bougie ass bitch. So she says she's a little bougie, but no, you seem like a lot of bougie. She says her man needs to be okay with that. She's high maintenance. The way she was talking, and in my head, I'm just like, you high maintenance, but why? Like, listen, she's the type of person that she thinks her shit don't stink, but I can smell her shit from a mile away. Like, she's the type of person that thinks she's all that, she's the best there is, that she's better than everybody. But I feel like you're on the same level with all of us. Like, clearly, if you was all that high maintenance, you wouldn't even be on Married at First Sight, in my personal opinion. But nonetheless, she's high maintenance. She says she's like that because she grew up poor and didn't have the luxury to do the stuff she does now. I get that, but at the same time, just because you're able to afford the lifestyle you have now doesn't mean that you should not be humbled about where you came from. So, okay, I was poor before, so now I should be all that, I have this lifestyle and I'm not going back. I'm not going back. That's the vibe she gives me. But the only thing she's missing now is a man, so she says. Um, she wants a guy with a beard. A guy that lives her lifestyle. She doesn't like bald heads because she says it's a distraction. Now, the realistic, humble person that I am, I'll be like, bitch, what are you talking about? But at the same time, seeing a lot of bald, men, and me personally having a father who has a bald spot here, when it's shiny and when that light hits that head, it can be a distraction, but not to the point where it's a deal breaker in my like. And plus, Jill don't have a beard, so I don't know. Jill, good luck to you, Dad. Obviously, I'm gonna say some more stuff later, but good luck to you, Dad. So we get to Zach. So he tells his family, his parents, and one of his brothers that he's getting married in 2 weeks. Um, he says he doesn't have anyone, or the reason why he hasn't been able to get married is because he's picky and he has an ideal woman in his head that females couldn't live up to. And I just want to know, why are there so many people with this ideal thought of what they should have and think that's okay? Like, obviously none of the females lived up to your expectations. I don't, it's not saying that it's wrong to have expectations, but at the same time, why is your expectation so high when you probably wouldn't live up to the expectation that you want in a female? Like, obviously this expectation you want in a female, you would have to be that expectation for a guy for her. It's just wishful thinking that doesn't work. So pretty much his brother's just like, what? You get what? His dad is not on board, because even before he told him that he got married, after he's getting married in 2 weeks, his dad was just like, this is crazy. This is the. But in my personal opinion, throughout all these people telling their family and friends that they're getting married, I don't understand how the family and friends already know that that's what they're gonna say. Probably they do, but they make it seem like they don't know. You know, they make it seem like they don't know that's what they're gonna say. But you wouldn't be on camera unless they were getting married in 2 weeks. But I digress. So he's asking how his mom is feeling, because I guess he could see that she's like, her reaction is like, shocked too. So then she starts, getting emotional and crying, saying, she's pretty much nervous because she doesn't want a random chick to be with her son. Because married at first sight, you don't know the person that you're about to marry. Well, in Bao and Johnny's case, they do, but And I guess he gets emotional about that too. But like, I can understand that a parent don't want no, especially moms and their sons. Shoot, they don't want no chicken heads messing with their son. They're just I understand that. So anyway, we get to Michaela. So she tells her sisters. I think she has 3 sisters, and then one of the sisters' husband was there. I don't know why he was there for. Like, unless it's that one type of couple that always go everywhere together, but. In that sort of instance and case is like, why was he there? But she tells her sister that she's getting married and whatnot, and she talks about herself and says when she was younger she was shallow, but I guess now she's older, so she's wiser, and I guess she's not as shallow. So then she goes talking to that she used to be homeless, and her past life, and unfortunately her father also passed and was killed by a drunk driver. What I realized in quite a few people on this cast for this season has had personal loss in their life. So that sucks. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone does, but like personal loss that they specifically talk about. So that's kind of sad. But pretty much, her dad was the person that was always there for her, as he should be. That was her dad. If she was somewhere, I guess she said an instance where her hood flew off and her dad, was at work and he stopped everything to come and help her. So that's the man that she would want, someone that can, live up to her dad's expectations, which is understandable too. But her sister seemed happy for her. We get to Johnny. He tells his friends that he's getting married. They seem happy and excited for him. Johnny says he's picky and attracted to hygiene. He likes the girls to be more into him than he is into them because he says because he fears of being vulnerable. But obviously what I wrote later on in the notes is he's just looking for validation. because he goes into this whole spiel of, his mom wasn't that affectionate with him and whatnot. So pretty much that led into his present day where he just feels like, okay, because my mom didn't, the first female in my life didn't show me that love and affection. I'm gonna need that love and affection from a female that comes into my life now because I didn't get that from my mama. So that's what I'm seeing. Um, his parents are divorced. His mom will be at the wedding, but he already knows his dad's not gonna be there because his dad is one of those strict parents that is like, you don't need to be doing this. This is stupid. This don't make no sense. This is not how the way things go. That's the type of dad he is. And I can understand that because if I were to do something like this, I know my dad, as a strict religious man, president of the committee of his church, of his congregation, if I were to say, hey, dad, I'm getting married at first sight, he won't talk to me. Okay? He gonna try to be like, oh, think about this. But he's the type of person that's like, he'll first act like, okay, you need to think about this. And I don't think it's the right thing to do because he might take it as like, you're not serious. But if I were to actually go through with it, he won't talk to me. He gonna give me the cold shoulder. He gonna give me the, cold chip on the shoulder. So I could totally understand where Johnny's coming from, like not wanting to tell his dad. But obviously later in the episode, we see that he does tell his dad. But we're gonna go move on to Bao. She tells her brothers that she's getting married. She's talking about she's an Excel spreadsheet for everything. Pretty much she's a nerd. She's quirky. She's saying how she grew up in a bad, I forgot the word she used. It started with a D, but I didn't write it down. In a bad condition trailer is what I put. And whenever she would come home from school, she would just pass the house or the trailer so her classmates wouldn't see where she lived because she was embarrassed. I can understand as a kid. And pretty much all I wrote after that was her brothers were cool with it. And they just said, good luck to her because she's a picky person. Seems like a lot of people are picky on this season. But, this is probably going to be entertaining for us to watch. So we can move on to Ryan. He tells his family that he's getting married in 2 weeks. He's dated so many females. His friend on the last episode when, they were picking who to be with each other, said he's probably dated to like 1,000 to 2,000 females in Houston, Texas. Now, define dating. That's what I want to know. Is it dating or he just hooked up with so much women? Because there's a difference. But he said he's probably dated 50 women within the past 3-4 years. Once again, define dating. We talking about you went out on like dates, like not a date and then hook up and that's it. But like you went on multiple dates with them and we're talking with them for a good little bit of time, or what is it, Ryan? Because you just seem like a hoe to me. He goes into how he lost his best friend last year. That's sad. That's another, loss. That's already the third loss, and I'm probably like halfway through the people. But he loves the movie The Notebook. He cried watching the movie. His people didn't really seem on board, but they didn't seem too pissed. If anything, his sister seemed the most pressed about it. But like, girl, you should know how your brother is. Let him live his life. Let him do him. Don't she got him in? I don't know. Anywho, we move on to Brett. She tells her friends that she's getting married. They're happy for her. I think they were the most excited out of all the people who told their peoples that they were getting married. Pretty much she was saying how she hasn't had sex in 2 years, hasn't kissed a guy in 2 years. Excuse me, but she's never had someone be committed to her because she's always been committed to them, but them not to her. And so she's looking forward to getting married, and her friends are so happy for her. They seem like a good support group and saying she deserves it. She says she can be intimidating because she's a little crazy. In my personal opinion, I'm like, girl, you got like that fiery, like bold red hair. We know you crazy. I feel like any female who be getting that color in their hair, they done been through some things. And yes, listen, trust me, come on, y'all can agree with me. Anyone who had that red, fiery, deep colored hair is crazy. They may say a little, to make us not be so deterred from them. No, they crazy. I can confirm. They're crazy. So she said something about being like pretty much from what she talked about. It seemed like she was afraid of getting rejected because they talked about a lot of them was talking about what if they don't like the people, the person they see on the other side of the altar, or whatever. But anywho, so we get on to Rachel. She tells her mom and best friend, that she's getting married. She was talking about that her last relationship was 6 months ago, that they quarantined together, but he cheated on her, so fuck him. We ain't gonna talk more about him. Freaking bastard. Because she seems very sweet. I think out of all the girls, she's like the sweetest to me. Bao, she already pissed me off in this first episode, so I like Rachel the most. um, but her best friend pretty much was saying she's afraid of the guy not liking her, and she's afraid of uh Rachel. Her best friend is afraid of her uh conforming to the guy. I guess like being a page. That's the best way I can explain it. Being a page of last season, she doesn't want the best friend don't want Rachel to be like that. That's the best way for me to explain that. So we move on to Jose. He tells his friends and parents that he's getting married. They seem to take it well. But when he was talking about himself, he's saying he went to college, he paid off his truck, bought 2 houses, blah 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 blah. Who you trying to impress? Your wife. But good for you. You so budget conscious and good for you. Whatever. What? Okay. He's very routine. He's structured. He was talking about in the last episode how he meal preps every Sunday, and so I guess he don't do nothing on Sundays because he got a meal prep. To each their own, whatever. This is the guy who probably like has no debt. Um, what else he said? He's not looking for a girl who wants everything handed to her on a silver platter. Um, well, good thing you not match with Mirla. His parents divorced because his dad was unfaithful, so he needs that trust in his relationship because of what his parents went through. He doesn't want to go through because for him, like divorce is like the last resort. He doesn't even want to get divorced. From the way he makes it seem, like he doesn't even want divorced in his vocabulary. So we'll see what happens. I hope you find Rachel attractive because you seem like the type of guy who wouldn't find Rachel attractive. So we're gonna see. Uh Oh, I think we went through all the couples. Okay, so we get to Johnny. He finally calls his dad to let him know that he's getting married. And obviously, we don't even hear what his dad says because I guess his dad refuses to be a part of filming and doesn't want to be a part of the whole Married at First Sight type of season or whatever. He's in total disagreement with what Johnny's doing. He's saying Johnny shouldn't do it, and I guess he's very disappointed in Johnny, which Johnny already expected to hear. That's why he didn't want to tell him in the first place. So Johnny was crying, and understandably, he was upset and sad at the same time and whatnot. So, but obviously, he still goes through with it anyway. So, good for you, Johnny. So then we get to the brides and the grooms meeting each other for the first time. All the guys are 35 except Zach, who's 27. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Zach. You seem like you might be the Miles of this season, so you're fine. The guys are talking about they don't want no IG models, even though y'all don't want no IG models personality-wise, but it seems like you want IG models looks-wise. All y'all need to get out of here with that BS. So it seems like Ryan doesn't really say much from what the producer showed, but Johnny was saying how Ryan looks jaded and has been through some shit. In my personal opinion, Ryan just looks tired. Okay, just like, I don't know if it's like the little crow's feet or the little bat. Ryan just looks tired. Okay, he looks like, you look like you've been through 1,000 to 2,000 dates. You look like you probably effed them all and you still haven't recovered from that night before. And every scene with Ryan, every confessional with Ryan looks tired. Okay, get this man a pillow for the confessional. Get this man a pillow for Ryan, you need a good 24 straight hours of sleep and then come back on the cameras because you looking tired, like straight tired. Okay. Um, we get to the girls because they just talk about the stuff like nothing worth mentioning. But Mirla doesn't want to be kissed at the altar, but it's funny because Jill wants to wants a kiss at the altar. Um, from that moment, no, I think it was from the moment she told her friends and she said she doesn't want a bald head guy and she wants a guy with a beard. From then, and from her being high maintenance, from then I was like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Um, I don't think it's gonna work. But Michaela I guess they were talking about Brett asked who's gonna be doing the do that night and who when's the last time y'all had sex. Pretty much. She didn't want to say the word, but I don't sex. Like I don't understand why some people be so prude, like sex. So pretty much she asked was the last time people, that everybody has sex. Then she was just saying she hasn't had sex in 2 years, hasn't kissed a guy, whatever, because she only does it with the people that she's in a relationship with. So she hasn't been in a relationship in 2 years, over 2 years. So whatever, cool. Michaela done said, pretty much she didn't say this word for word, but I'm paraphrasing. She done told her sneaky link she getting married, so he cut off. Everybody goes shopping for their wedding attire. Zach says he's never been to a wedding, so his own personal wedding will be the first wedding he goes to. Unfortunate, I love weddings, but I guess that's a female thing anyway, so that's not really surprising. Zach, whatever. So I guess he tries on blue suits. It doesn't say which one he chose, but the bright blue one, I was like, that was a no, bro. Like I don't know what he was trying to do with that bright blue one. It was like a bright blue to me. Cause usually, all right, but it was a no. So I think he went with the darker blue one, okay, but that brighter blue one, no, don't know. Michaela tries on her dresses. The one that she chose with was cute, but I did like the first one she put on the best. I thought that was what I thought that was beautiful, beautiful. But she goes, I guess her third dress she tried on. It was cute, whatever. Moving on. This was 3 hours. I'm trying to get through this. It's already 22 minutes in this review. Okay, so Johnny, Johnny goes next. Johnny and Bao go next to pick out their outfits. So he said in the Asian culture, red means lucky. So he wants to get like a red suit or jacket, for the wedding. Johnny says he's never been hugged or loved as a child by his mom, so he thinks that's why he's the way it is, which I already talked about earlier. So the jacket he chooses is nice. I liked it. So Bao also goes dress shopping, and the dress she chooses is nice too. Other than that, for that scene, I was, all the facial expressions that she made, I'm just like, she has a very theatrical facial expression making type thing. Like, she makes a lot of facial expressions. And I'm just like, girl, how old are you? Like, be confident in yourself. Like, she is so, like, she says she's quirky and awkward. So, that's her to a T. But sometimes I'm just like, girl, just stand straight. Like, just keep a straight face. Do you know how to poker face, Bao? Okay. We get to the bachelor and bachelorette parties. I don't. I know it's Texas. I know they got Texan bars, tequila bar. Looks like, but that's where y'all gonna take them for the bachelor and bachelorette parties. I've seen some better bachelorette parties on Married at First Sight. Why y'all do this to them? Granted, this was in January of 2021, so I do understand that I do understand COVID and restrictions, but I know there's some good strip clubs that are open. Probably from January 2021. I don't know. Y'all tried them with the bachelorette parties, in my personal opinion. because both the strippers from both sides sucked. Okay, for the guys, the female strippers, it was just like white girls. No offense to the white girls, but like the one they had dancing for the men, like the men throwing money, like it's like, oh, it's a great lap dance again. That lap dance sucked. I could probably lap dance better than that, and I can't even dance that well. Yes, I can dance, but I can't like dance like a stripper. So, and I could probably do better than that. White girl wasn't doing nothing. She was trying to do the little booty shake, but it was not working. Plus, she had no booty. She had no ass. Listen, can we get a white girl at least with some junk in the trunk or something, or some big breasts to just shake or something? Like, they sucked. The male strippers sucked. But Michaela was so lit. I'm just like, girl, for what? I guess because it was a bachelorette party, but I'm just like, y'all could have done better than this. Why gotta just be white people? Why can't we get like a sexy Latino man or a dark chocolate female? It could be light chocolate too, light skin. It don't matter. But I'm just like, I know it was like a little cowboy country bar or something, but can we get some diversity? I mean, the cast is diverse. Okay, let's get some diversity in these strippers, because this wasn't y'all producers, y'all really let the ball drop with this one. But anywho, the girls having fun. Mirla is not feeling it. She's more conservative, and when it was talking at the lunch brunch, whatever, she was saying like she doesn't make friends often. Da da da. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I wonder why. You seem like a bitch. I'm sorry. You seem like a bitch. Sorry, not sorry. Mirla, no, yeah, I wonder why you don't make much friends. And when Michaela was getting lit, Mirla was looking at her like with such a disapproving look, like, okay, that might not be your cup of tea, but clearly we see why you and Michaela ain't like cool. Like, you be cordial, but it seems like she's hitting it off more with Brett. So, yeah, Michaela and Brett seem like they're hitting off more together. And Marilyn, I don't see who she's really hitting off with, because even Rachel will seem like she was lit, and she seemed like the sweet type of person who I would feel like wouldn't be that lit, but she be lit too. Even Bao was getting lap dance from a stripper. So, Marilyn, your little high maintenance crap, we ain't with it. No, we's not with it. Jill ain't gonna be with it, because Jill was lit at his bachelor party. She, dancing with the strippers on the stage. His pants split and open. Like I said, Mirla and Jill is not gonna work from this first episode. I can already see they is not gonna work. Um, let's see, what I put. When the guys are talking, Jose said he already got questions lined up to ask her. He got like 256 questions ready to ask her. And I'm pretty sure they're all about budget and finance and routines. So to me, that's nothing. Oh wow, to me, because it's just like, oh, you just gonna bore her with money, 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 money. Um, that's about it for that scene. Let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to add? Oh, Michaela talking about, she would like a schlong, but he better know how to use it and work it. Michaela, you was lit, so I'm gonna let that pass. But I'm just like, girl, you sure you ready for a husband? The way you act, I don't know. But we move on. We get to the next thing. Johnny is talking with a friend. He said he wants a needy and clingy girl, but that's just him wanting validation because of his little mommy issues. So we move on to Bao. She's talking with her friend or roommate or whatever, and she's nervous because, she doesn't want a guy with a micro penis, because that's a deal breaker to her. And I'm just like, I mean, you did ask for a Caucasian or Asian guy, so moving on. So everyone talks in the confessional about being excited for their wedding, because it's like the night before everybody's weddings and whatnot. But anywho, we get to the wedding day, and first to go is Bao and Johnny. Bao was ranting, talking with a friend on her phone about like She was just going on and on and on. I didn't write what she said, but like it's probably like he gonna mesh well with her family. Family's important to her. Is family important to him? Blah 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 blah. But her friend said the best line of the whole entire episode. She told Bao, "Take the stick out of your ass. Stop being controlling and just let the flow." Bitch, you already on Married at First Sight. You like, if like, come on, just go with the flow. You worry about the wrong things, and she really pissed me off later on in the episode. I think we're going right into it. Okay, because they get ready and whatnot. Both of them get gifts for each other, KQ, whatever. We get to the Johnny and Bao's gifts to him, and she got him ugly ass socks, snacks and stuff, with a basic card and stuff like that, like showing her quirky side or whatnot. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, that's a random gift. To me personally, I'm like, that's a random gift. So then we get to Bao. Johnny gets her a nice long card. He wrote all these things in it. Something, I don't know what he said, but she was just like, "Oh no, I hope he's not a sports fan." She opens the gifts. It's a jersey. I guess he got her two jerseys and a little thing that they could put pictures in. And she was so butthurt. She was so upset that he got her jersey. She don't like sports guys. She's like, "Oh, I don't want a bro. I've been with bros, guys who like sports, and it never works out for." She was so upset. And in my head, I'm like, what? Like, bitch, you haven't even met this guy. You haven't even seen his face. Are you serious right now? Johnny's already out there. He's already waiting. Like, the producers are telling her, "All right, girl, like, it's time to go." And she just like, just sitting there sipping her champagne or whatever, or wine, whatever it was. And she was just so upset. She's just like, "I wanted a smart guy. I wanted a Nobel Prize." First off, not calling nobody dumb on this whole season. But you think you're gonna find a Nobel Prize? Bow. Like, she really had me like, are you serious right now? Like, I understand being like, really a sports, like a jersey, two sports jerseys as the gift. But then again, you got him ugly ass socks. Are you serious? But like, you cannot. She had the nerve to be like, "Oh, I wish he would have got me some books. Why didn't you get him some books then? If that's the like, girl, get out of here." She thinks she's so up here. Like, I hate people who think they're so much better than other people that anything less than in their personal opinions is like not worth their time. Like, Bow, if that was the case, you wouldn't be on Married at First Sight. You would have already been married and probably pregnant with your second or third baby. So don't even come on here acting like, "Oh, just because he got you." Girl. And then look what happened when they saw each other. Oh, like when we get to, well, let's fast forward. We get to the wedding. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Johnny." So they both knew each other. How they knew each other? 10 years ago, when they were both in college, they were both president of their Vietnamese committee or whatever. So she knew him, he knew her, and they both know they're pretty much they're smart. And she understood why they were matched. Like, oh, like she was really contemplating walking down the aisle because he got her two jerseys as the wedding gift. Are you serious right now? So you already assumed this guy just based off of the gift he gave you. So what would he take, if he was so like you, like such a bougie, just a bitch like you, what would he take from the gifts you gave him with them ugly ass socks? Girl, bye. She tried to redeem herself by, being okay with him and whatnot during the wedding and the pictures and them talking. But no, she pissed me off with that one. She want to say that's a red flag. Chick, that was a red flag from the way you reacted. If I were to see that, if I was your husband, I would have been like, really? That's like, you was like, really? So, no. But I'm gonna stop talking about her because she got my nerves. But that was pretty much it. Johnny said the question of the night that he wanted to ask her was to do a tea ceremony because that's important for his culture. Like, I think they're both Vietnamese. So she said she made it a mandatory for them to do a tea ceremony. I guess she told producers that or something. I don't know. But I guess they're going to do the tea ceremony. That's where it ends. Okay. She pissed me off. We're going to see what, the other weddings next week is going to be 2 hours. Predictions. Do I have any predictions? Not really. Johnny and Bao, I guess they could work if they really work at it. Um, I'll try. I'll try to take guessings. Mirla and Jill, I don't think y'all gonna work. Sorry, I don't think y'all gonna work. Um, Michaela and Zach, you might work. I don't know. I gotta see how y'all act with each other. But so far, so good. Everything that Michaela says she wants, it seems like that's what Zach is. Brett and Ryan, I don't know. I think Brett will be for it, but I feel like Ryan is not gonna be attracted to her. I just feel like he's into the little, blonde, blue-eyed chick, supermodel chicks. So I don't know how that's gonna go. Jose and Rachel's so sweet, but I feel like Jose gonna fuck it up. So I don't think he's gonna be attracted to her either. I don't know. They just give me the vibes that, like, they want the supermodel chicks, even though they don't want no IG models. But it seems like you're only attracted to IG models. So someone like Rachel, I feel like you would think she's like just a basic chick next door. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I don't know for that. Um, I think I said all of them. Yeah, right. I gotta go back to the top. But like I said, yeah, Bound Johnny. Yeah, that's it. So listen, this is the first episode. It was 3 hours. I'm tired. So I'll see you guys next week. So far, I just do 2 reviews: Monday, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta; Wednesdays, Married at First Sight. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. And once again, I'll see you next week.